Please stand clear. Toastmasters and people who have grown up listening to this warning. Can you imagine traveling on a train, an intercity express that travels through hills and valleys with its doors wide open? You might be confused or even horrified, but I'm coming from a country where people travel like this all the time. The Great Indian Railway. In fact, people jumping in and out of moving trains is a common phenomenon. For millions of people traveling by trains in India, it's just a part of life. In fact, this phenomenon has been the fodder of imagination for many filmmakers. Many movies have concluded to great applause as the hero comes running into the platform, jumps into a moving train and rescues a lady. Or maybe profuses his love to his beloved. And my own favorite ending, when a girl sees a boy coming into a jumping train, she lends him the hand, pulls him in, they fall in love and live happily ever after. As a young girl growing up in India, I drew most of my wisdom from Bollywood. So in my head, train journeys were the perfect place to meet true love. So whenever I travelled on train, I would stand by these open doors, hoping that some young suitor might come running in. I could give him my hand and fall in love. Unfortunately, my parents had different plans for me. I was to have an arranged marriage. So instead of my Mr. Perfect, they found me the perfect stranger. Between my engagement and my marriage, we had a span of 2 months. During this month, we were allowed to meet and talk on phone and sort of have a dating phase. It was during this time that I was going away for a weekend, and that Sunday was my birthday. As I was boarding the train, I received a call from my fiancé. He wanted to meet me. It was almost departure time, so I stood by those open doors. As the train slowly started to move, I saw him coming running through the crowds. By the time he reached my coach, the train had started to gather speed, and he had to run to keep up with the train. He was huffing and panting and sweating. But then, like a magician, he flicked his bag open and pulled out a bunch of red roses. He half threw it, half gave it to me, and I caught it in midair. By then the train had gained speed, and all I could do was just hold on to those red roses and look at him smiling as he stood on that platform mouthing, "Happy birthday!" I took that as a signal from the universe that this perfect stranger could be my Mr. Perfect. Unfortunately, life is not a movie. Not everything is happily ever after. 2 months into my marriage, I realized, to put it nicely, we both were poles apart. He liked to eat. I hated to cook. He liked to listen to loud music, and I liked peace and quiet. His idea of the perfect woman was his mother. And my idea of the perfect woman was, of course, my mother. And these two mothers were galaxies apart. So one day in frustration, I shouted at him, "Prashant, why on earth did you marry me? Why did you say yes?" He looked at me and gave a piteous smile. He said, "Well, you see, before you, we met 3 other girls. They all came to see us demurely clad in traditional saris. But you came in a pair of jeans, looking like a movie star." That's when I realized that we did have something in common. Both of us derived our wisdom from Bollywood. His picture of the happily ever after was one of him riding on the bike and his wife sitting behind him, hugging him tightly in a pair of tight jeans. So when he met me, he knew the answer to the one question he wanted answered. Does she wear jeans? Yes, she does. So he said yes. It's been 6 years since our marriage, and yes, we are still married. From strangers, we have become friends. He still likes to eat, but I've learned to cook. He still listens to music, but he wears headphones. As for the perfect woman, we decided that perfection lies in the eyes of the beholder. But sometimes I can't help wondering, would it have been any different if it was a love marriage? What is love actually? Am I just compromising? And the answer to these questions I found in my own Toastmasters club. From an old pair of lovebirds, Elizabeth and Gary. They have been married for over 50 years and still very much in love. One day Elizabeth told me that she does not agree to most of the things that Gary does. But she said, I accept him as he is, and I respect him for what he does and what he is. I thought about it and looked back into my own life. Prashant is not perfect. He hates Toastmasters. He hates giving speeches and even more, listening to them. He makes fun of you guys just to irritate me. But I know for a fact that after every meeting when I go out at 9:30 at night, he would be there in the parking lot waiting for me in the car with our half-asleep son. Because he understands that this is important to me. And he accepts that and doesn't try to change me. And I respect him for that. Which made me realize that it's not bikes or trains or red roses, but it is this acceptance. What is love actually?
Go out to the other room.
Oh, you did not, my God.